Wow, welcome back to Korean Tapas. This is episode 22, World Cup. And for the first time after, I don't know, yeah, 1 year, we're doing video recording. So, hi, YouTube.
Hi,
Hola, hello.
Hello. So, Minky, how are you?
I'm really great. This is the first day of the 2023. So everybody, listener, Feliz Año Nuevo. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Happy New
So
Year.
long. Yeah, and so, yes, thank you for translating. So complicated. Jisang, how are you?
I'm good, and I'm obviously very excited to have you guys with the video, and hope we can create some much more interesting episodes from now on from this 2023.
We shall see. We shall see. All right. So World Cup. I think it's a little bit out of date because it happened a few weeks already ago. But we're gonna talk about it because I think you guys have strong feelings about the World Cup, and I don't want to ask you questions and see your points of view. So first of all, I mean I know, but the listeners don't know. Did you watch the World Cup?
Korean games, of course, every single game, and I try to watch some other games, but as you can imagine, most of the games were played during the very late night time or
Right.
is sometimes in the like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So it was a little bit difficult for me to watch like many
Watch live.
matches.
Yeah. 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 What about you, Minky?
Me too. I watched every Korean game, but except Korea, I didn't watch that much. Less than before World Cup.
I gotta say, I did not watch any Spain game or any game whatsoever. The only thing I watched was the penalties at the very end of the final. But let's get
Oh,
into it
okay.
later. So guys, how did you watch it? I mean, did you watch it at home? Did you watch it to a bar? How was the way of the watching in Korea?
I in, on purpose I try to watch every single game in different places. For example, for the first and the third match, I watched it in cinemas with my friends, and the second match I watched in a bar. And fourth match, which turned out to be Korean team's last match, I watched it home.
Okay, so you when you cried privately at home. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Minky, what about you? Did you enjoy watching it at bars or cinemas? What's your deal?
Unlike Jisang, I'm a single male home person. What can I say? So I just watch every game in my home alone.
Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I saw your stories, Isang, and you were at the bar drinking beer and whatever. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So I didn't watch them, so I cannot tell you where I watched them because I didn't. Uh, what else? I wanted to ask you. I mean, since you guys watch the World Cup, I know that some people don't even like watch football or soccer regularly. Do you guys do that apart from the World Cup? Do you follow any other teams?
In my case, I think compared to, I mean, average people, I'm a huge fan of football, I guess. But honestly, not that like not that phonetic nowadays. When I was young, I was more phonetic, but now I'm not. So in Korea, there is a term called FC Korea, which stands for obviously Football Club Korea, because people usually go crazy for the national team, and that's what I'm doing right now as well. And honestly, apart from that, I watched some of the important games of Korean players playing in some European leagues, which are quite prestigious. But apart from that, honestly, I don't watch many. I don't watch any domestic professional league in Korea.
Interesting. So you watch more of the outside stuff as well as Minky, right? I think you love English soccer, football. Do you?
Yes, as Ricard said, I'm a big fan of English Premier League, especially for Liverpool FC. Actually, I even studied Spanish because I wanted to understand some Spanish player and coach, like Rafa Benitez and Fernando Torres, Xabi Alonso, etc. These days, not that much like Jisang, but however, I still watch Liverpool FC game. when it's possible.
Did you visit Liverpool? I think you went there, right?
I
Or
went
was it
Liverpool
not?
game for three times, one in England, two in Spain.
Three times. Nice, very nice. Um, yep. So myself, yeah, I don't watch any soccer at all. So it's gonna be not very useful information from my side. So next, um, Minky, you want to ask us if the World Cup means something special to us? For me, no. But how about you? What does it mean for you, the World Cup?
I think it might be very difficult for you to like lead this topic, Ricard, this week.
You're like Spanish guy and you don't watch at all.
Yes, you see, but that's the stereotypes, right? So
Mhm.
so when I went to Korea last October, I met a lot of like Korean masters and stuff. And when I said I was from Spain, everybody assumed that I was very good at playing soccer and I loved all the soccer stuff, and I didn't, and I had to say, well, yes, I'm Spanish, but special. Not everybody likes it, so I'm that one. But back again, so Minky, what does the World Cup mean to you?
Actually, my first World Cup that I remember is 2002, that it was huge national event for Korea. We went to the semifinal and I watched quite every game at that time with my family. So when I remember that 2002, I remember my father was yelling at me, don't like I was because at the last penalty, I told my father, Father, I think we will lose, and the father yelled at me, shut up or something. Yeah. So,
Yeah, otherwise
uh,
you jinx it. Yeah, yeah.
but
Nice.
nowadays, when I remember, like, I remember my father or my hometown that I watched the feeling, the atmosphere, etc.
Jisang, any input from your side? Is it special to you, the World Cup, in any regard?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult to, I mean, think of some other definition or description about the meaning of World Cup. It's obviously very special, and I can say that it might be most exciting event for me, exciting sporting event or
Sporting.
international event. Yeah,
That's nice. That's
and
nice.
yeah, to like share some uh, information from my back in the days in high school or middle school. Uh, Whenever there were World Cups, I clearly remember that there was those were the exams that I got the lowest points of that year or of the season or whatever, because it was quite difficult for me to concentrate on studying. So
It's so interesting that you mentioned this. I was talking to an Argentinian dude a few weeks ago about the World Cup, and he was saying that in his high school, they stop classes when Argentina plays, because if they do classes, kids don't go to school. It's like even like the families, they don't take them to school. They say stay home and watch Argentina play, right? So they would just rather say, okay, when the match is on, we will just stop the classes for an hour or two, and then we just put it play on the hall or in the classroom. They put the game and then back to study, because otherwise they don't go to school. I found it interesting,
yeah, probably that's the reason why they were able to, I mean, win the World Cup.
because people were watching from the
Yeah,
classrooms. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
definitely.
that 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 much passion, we, we cannot go even closer to it, I guess.
They do have passion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what happened to Korea in the World Cup? Where did you fall?
Uh, in this World Cup, we were able to go through the second round, which is like the second time apart from the World Cup that was held in our home country. So it's like we all say that it's like the historic moment or historic event in Korean football history. And even though we lost by 1-4 to Brazil, people, I mean, there were very few people who blamed the national team, because even though we were facing the strongest team in the world, We tried to maintain, I mean, the football playing style that we were trying to maintain all through the preparation period. So everyone said that we were quite brave, and I mean, including me and many other people, are very proud of the performance of Korean team, I guess.
Chankaman, Chankaman. You said the strongest team, but technically, isn't Argentina the strongest team in the world right now?
Yeah, but before the World Cup, Brazil was in the FIFA rank number one.
Ah, okay. Didn't know that. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Uh,
But you overall are
Actually,
happy. Minky, are you happy with the performance of your team this year?
mm, maybe not only the quite majority of Korea loved our performance because before right before World Cup we didn't expect that much. We didn't win that much, and we were always curious. We have some, what can I say, worry. We have many worries about the Paulo Bento, the coach, and now he's called as Benboji, which means Father Paulo Bento. So he's like our now father, the kind of symbol of leader, a symbol of good leader that who
The leader,
trusts.
the coach, the national coach.
Yes,
Okay.
the who trust players and who maintain his own philosophy to achieve the goal. So many of Koreans who didn't watch football that much before, they even know they right now they know Paulo Bento and they call Bento is a good leader or something. Then it's quite impressed.
To give you some brief information about him, before the World Cup, there were quite a lot of mm, objection to him because the head coach had been maintaining the playing style of possession and dominance, but everyone blamed him because in the World Cup there are many strong teams from Europe and South America, which might be the reason why the that playing style of dominance or possession won't be possible. So that's why many people were not believing in him and had a doubt in him. But anyhow, it turned out to be that playing style was possible, technically possible, and as I mentioned previously, that was the biggest reason why nowadays many Korean people are loving him, even though he's left already.
That's cool. So from our side of the world, I had no idea what happened, so I had to Google it. It turns out Spain lost to Morocco in the penalties, losing in the last 16, whatever. So that would be the same sort of round as in Korea, right? Same like pool, same
Yeah,
level, or
but it means different, obviously.
yeah, sure, sure. I mean, different groups and everything, but yeah, yeah. So
And
from
and
what you're
oh,
talking about, I can already feel that. Oh, go ahead, man.
okay. In addition, I'm sure that a lot of Korean were interested in Spain's performance because Spain what can I say? Spain had matched with Japan. So maybe you guys
Okay, what
already
happened
know
with
that
Japan?
Japan beat Spain.
Ah,
So we were like kind of crazy or something. Why Spain was beaten by Japan? Like we expect that Spain beat Japan.
mm, I can answer that question and talk to other Spaniards. So, yeah, definitely from what you guys are saying, I feel that the World Cup in Korea is very popular. And I can tell you in Spain, it is as well. Maybe not for me, not for everybody, but mostly yes. So I know that this happened while, of course, I was working, right? So I remember like every morning we had stand up meetings and such. The World Cup would be a topic that people would talk about just briefly, right? So um, if you didn't watch anything or at least the headlines on the news, you would be not able to just be in the conversation, right? So I had to more little bit in the morning just to look at the highlights. Okay, so whatever this team won, whatever that team, that's just I can say a word or two at work. Otherwise, I just standing there and listening people talking about football. But yeah, I think people watch it here, and even if Spain got eliminated, I think people still watched maybe Argentina or other teams that they favor. So yeah, I couldn't say how. I mean, if it's the same level as in Korea, but from you guys are telling him, you really like the World Cup.
I can say, I mean, in general, obviously, Ricard, you're not, but in general, there might be more popularity in terms of football in Spain than Korea. But at least for the national team, once I saw a result of a survey saying that, I mean, not like the general football, but for national team, Korea is among top 5 countries where people go crazy for the team. And I don't know. I mean, there might be lots of reasons why that uh, resulted in um, that result. But anyhow, Korea is obviously very concentrated on Korean national team's event.
Yeah. Maybe here it's the opposite, right? Because we have so many different, how politics are in Spain is very complicated. So maybe people are more here following their own clubs. Like, I don't know, you're following Barcelona, you're following Madrid, or you're following, I don't know, Atletico. I don't know. But it feels like Korea, you don't watch much of local teams or national teams, but sorry, national teams, but national league, but rather the national team when you go to the World Cup, no? So yeah, maybe a more. How do you? Because it's like it's a bad comparison, but it's like a little bit like the USA, because when you go to Korea, my feeling is you see the flags everywhere, and your spirit of nationality and all together. It's way different than in Spain. In Spain, you usually don't see like Spain flags on the
Mhm.
subway or the train or the streets, right? It's very uncommon just in some cities and some towns. But in Korea, you see it everywhere because you have more of a everybody together, and it's more like national spirit, I guess.
Yeah, there might be the reason, I guess.
Minky, any thoughts?
Mm, I strongly agree with you guys because after 2002, uh, it became a quite national event. Every 4 years, we went to outside for cheer up, for cheering up our Korean national team. Even the girls who didn't watch at all, like they went to the stadium or they went to the kind of plaza. So I was quite interesting, and maybe this is along with Korea, not only Korea, but maybe with Japan or China, the kind of Asia country will do much. I'm not sure, but in Korea, the World Cup is very huge.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So there was something that you guys mentioned at the beginning that we didn't expand on, and I really wanna touch on this because it's something that surprised me. You said you watched the World Cup in a cinema. Me, for you, Jisang, it's super normal and super regular thing to do. But here, I don't know if that is even possible. My brother told me that yes, at some point there was something in a cinema, but it's not something I ever imagined happening. So how does it work?
Honestly, you shouldn't think that that's quite common in Korea because for me it was also the first time, and
Oh,
I decided to go to cinema because I saw that on the news that some of the cinemas were, I mean, premiering live
okay. So
the
you
Korean
lied me
teams
then.
matches.
You lied me.
What? I didn't
You,
lie.
you, I mean, on your stories on Instagram, it felt so natural and so amazing, and I thought, man, this is very natural, very very common to go to the cinema. But now you're saying me it's not. Hmm,
Did
I
did I
see.
say? Did I say as
No,
like
you
that?
you didn't say it, but it felt very very like, yeah, everybody was in the cinema and you were screaming in the cinema, and it's. I thought it was something people do.
Uh, yeah, but it was quite good. Uh, quite good memory for me, but I cannot say that it's getting popular because I haven't seen any other friend who watched the matches in cinemas. But personally, I wanted to go there because usually in the previous World Cups, I loved watching the matches on the streets with some other crowds. But as you know, this World Cup was held in the winter season, and even though obviously there were some people cheering for the team on the streets, but it was like minus 10 degrees Celsius, something like that.
Oh,
So
oops. Yeah.
I was looking for some other place where I can watch the match with some other crowds. I mean, apart from my friend group. So and obviously the cinema turned out to be the best option.
Were you like sitting down or standing or how? How?
Uh, we were generally seated, but unlike the movies, everyone was screaming, yelling, and chanting. So it was like in between the cinema and the stadium. The atmosphere was like
Was not like shut up. I want to watch a movie. Shut up. Don't make noise. No, no. It was.
not at all, not at all.
What about there were beer and food or not?
Yeah, yeah. I brought some of the beers inside. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I
Oh,
guess the big screen makes a difference if you're watching at home or. Now, why didn't you take Minky? Poor thing. He was at home alone,
uh,
and you didn't bring him to the cinema. Talk about
Sorry,
friendship. Talk about
sorry.
friendship.
uh, no, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I wanted to watch football alone in this case. I wanted to.
It's fine. It's fine. It is fine. All right. So Korea, Spain, they're gone, eliminated. So you went to the final. Yeah. Who did you follow? Who did you root for in the finals? Please say
I I
not
I
France.
really think that Jisang has some feeling and some saying about this one because of Cristiano Ronaldo.
This
But
might be
Cristiano,
too much information, but for lots of Korean people, uh, Cristiano Ronaldo is like very a person of hatred because in the past there were, I mean, huge fans and lots of fans in Korea as well. But uh, once there were some preseason event match that his team decided to come to Korea, and obviously lots of fans gathered in the stadium only to see him, only to see Ronaldo. But he didn't show up, and he didn't even say or nor explain the reason why he didn't appear, even though it was written in the contract that he will play like for like 30 or 40 minutes. And after that, he became some national villain for Korean people.
yeah, yeah, I can
And
see that.
and for that reason, after that moment, lots of Korean people were for Messi, who's his rival, obviously.
The rival.
Mhm.
I mean, that was what happened in Spain, right? I mean, I was talking to friends, and I don't think anybody was rooting for France. I'm not sure if because of Messi or because of the relationship Spain has with France. That it's always like, it's France is bad and Spain is good. I don't know, or it's envy. I don't know what it is. I was talking to a friend, an ex-colleague who actually he coaches a football team here, and he played for like Spain top whatever. I mean, a guy who knows football, right? And he was saying that the play style, he was following more Argentina because of the play style. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I think here mostly it's because of Messi, right? And the last World Cup he will play and all those things. What about you, Minky? Who did you root for?
As Jisang said, quite every Korean now okay. We are big fan of Lionel Messi, rival of Cristiano Ronaldo, including me. And France already won the World Cup in 2018. So I really, really supported Lionel Messi for the greatest of all time, the footballer. What can I say? The football player. We're when I was in Barcelona, I could feel that how Lionel Messi became an icon of Barcelona. So I really supported Lionel Messi at this time. And
Mm,
everybody, including
nice.
me, everybody.
And I wasn't really. I had the same feeling, but I wasn't sure what the what the reason for this feeling. But one day I read some comments on the internet that explained my feeling exactly and completely. The comment said probably lots of football fans, regardless of where they're from, they wanted to have an experience that they share the same time with the greatest player of all time. And for that reason, even though they were not a big fan of Lionel Messi, just to, I mean, to remember their days as the most bright day of the football history, that was the reason why they supported Lionel Messi. Because one thing that he didn't have, the only thing that he didn't achieve was the World Cup.
Ah, he was missing that. I
Yeah,
see.
that
So
so
it's a
everyone was
nice
saying that
closure.
that's
Mm.
like the final goal of his career,
Oh
to be
wow,
more respected person more than Pele or Maradona.
beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful. So I think it's with this great feeling we can wrap things up. Unless you have anything else to share, guys.
Ricard, I have question.
Mm, yes, fire
What
away.
for the what can I say? So Catalan for Catalonia people, uh, what does
Yes,
Lionel Messi mean? I mean,
you asked the wrong person.
I
But
know,
but I
but in
guess
your
it
atmosphere,
I mean, definitely. I think there's no doubt in my mind that if you are like Barca fan, right? I think you are super grateful for this guy and how he came from nothing on the cantera and on the small thing, and he grew and he won all those titles for the with the club, right? With these dream teams and Guardiola and all those great players and coaches. So I think definitely there's a feeling of yes, thank you for being here, not leaving us and staying here as long as you could, and yeah, sure.
in addition,
Maybe
in
that's
my
but again that's
experience,
why they went for Argentina. I don't know. Yeah.
mm, I mean, in my experience as the foreigner, uh, Lionel Messi means quite equal with Gaudi. Like there were so many people who went
Same
to
same same
Barcelona.
same thing. Same thing.
Like Barcelona became so popular because one, Antonio Gaudi, and two, Lionel Messi, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, man. Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of culture and people selling, that the
And
product of Lionel Messi. Not maybe not now as much. Maybe in the street you don't see it as much
mhm.
of T-shirts and stuff. But you used to, yeah, for years. Cool. Then we close with a question for the listeners. Tell us if you like the video format. If don't, just say it. Say you don't like it. But apart from that, please tell us if you did watch the World Cup yourself. Who were you with, and what does it mean to you, the World Cup? If it means something. If not, just say it. Otherwise, we will look at the comments on the website. KoreanTapas.show or Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We're everywhere. Thank you for watching, and Minki Jisang. See you next time.
Bye bye.
안녕.